live?
We live.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khalil.
I'm Alex.
And someone's missing today, ain't it?
Yeah, you may notice that it's only two of us today. Doing a little follow-up episode on how to remove toxic people from your life and how to kick that guy just to the curve, But
He had to get cut.
sometimes you gotta do that with people. Sometimes toxic people in your life, you just gotta come back, and we're gonna revisit that right now, actually. So
Yeah. I mean, shouts out to Jesse though. Like he's he couldn't be here today. He's adulting right now,
yeah,
so
he's feeling a little sick.
it's just us two for this week. So
Yes, sir.
speaking of toxic people though,
Yeah, man. Let's get back to it.
still got some stuff I gotta get off my chest.
Yeah, go ahead. What's on your mind, bro?
So like, I feel like a hypocrite, right? Just got to the chase.
Why you say that? For?
Right? I've been talking all this stuff about cutting toxic people out your life,
Yeah.
and as it turns out,
Uh-huh.
I'm toxic as fuck, bro.
Why you say that?
So recently, I've discovered that there's been a pattern around me.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't say I'm a particularly busy guy. Would you say that?
Ooh. Bro.
I don't.
You got the name coal miner, bro.
It's not.
Bro,
It's not warranted.
We
Like,
didn't see you for a whole summer because he was in the coal mines, bro. Like, what you mean, fam?
so there's this pattern that I realized that the people in my life feel like I put everyone else before them, and everyone feels like they're behind everyone else.
Yeah, we fifth
And if
place.
that's the case, then that means everyone's in the same place, which they are, but people feel like they're behind. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I'm starting to feel like you know that saying, like, if you meet an asshole in the morning, then you met an asshole. But if you've been meeting assholes all day, you're the asshole,
Never heard that, but I can see where it's coming from, though.
right? So if there's a pattern of all these negative emotions and negative people around you, and you're the only common factor, you have to stop to think,
Maybe it's me.
yeah, am I good? And with all these people in my life feeling neglected and kicked to the curb, and all that negative emotions and making them feel, it's like I've been toxic this entire time, man.
But is that feeling warranted? See, there's a couple things you gotta factor in. Like, did you communicate that you would be around less for whatever was going on in your life? Like, if you just like dipped out and then say nothing, that might be kind of toxic. That's almost like ghosting.
Right. But that's also just like the cutting back that we were talking about in the last episode.
That
What do
is
you don't want
true.
to cut people
That-
off,
yeah,
you just want to
yeah,
cut
yeah,
back.
that
You
is
said
true.
when we do that, then you're not really going to have a conversation about it. And this cutback, in my situation, wasn't even because, they drain my social battery or whatever. That's not why I hang out with everyone, with the time that I hang out with them. It's just that there's only one means, not that much to go around.
What are you doing that keeps you so busy, or that makes people feel like you're so busy? Like, what are you doing? You just in the crib playing video games? Like, what's going on?
So this mainly happened when I was still in school.
Okay.
So I had a girl. I was in school for computer science, which is pretty demanding outside of class,
Very taxing major.
and I was working. And between those things, and of course my personal life and chores and errands and goals and things that I want to do, like go into the gym or go into certain places, I just didn't have as much time for everyone as I did before.
That's how life goes on, man. That's life.
And I never had that conversation like, yo, I'm about to be real busy this semester. Or, yo, I'm trying to spend more time with this person because we're building something up right now. I never had that conversation.
Okay.
So to everyone else, it was just like, you changed up on me. And I never noticed that.
Did they ever say anything to you?
No, they didn't. I got the idea. I got the sense of it. Like, I would always try to, I try to make sure that I see the people in my life regularly, or I talk to them regularly at least,
Yeah.
even if it's less than it was before. And so because of that, I feel like I didn't really switch up on them. It's just like we could hang out less, but I didn't stop fucking with you, right? I didn't stop messing with you.
But then it might feel like one of those things where people outgrow each other organically, Like, where it's just like, you got high school friends or like just people you used to know. But over time, like, you just kind of separated. So it might feel like one of those type of things for you, nah?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see it that way because when you outgrow someone, what I think of is like,
Or not even outgrow somebody. You just fade away. That'll be a better word for it.
Yeah, and that's bound to happen naturally if you let it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if if the other person doesn't want that to happen and they're making all this effort to like, yo, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? And every single time you just like, I got this to
Ooh,
do. Or I'm hanging out
that's
with
what
this
was
person.
happening.
Or I'm over here right now. I'm not at home. When it's like that was happening. It happened with a lot of people around me. Like I would get a call, like, can you talk right now? No, I'm out with my friends. Or, hey, can you come out right now? No, I'm out right
How
now
much?
with someone else already.
How much was this like time? Like, what was the time thing you were given? Like the time span. Like, was it like same day type thing?
Yeah,
Nah, that's not your fault. That's not your fault. If you hit me up, I actually got into this with somebody not too long ago. Like, you hit me up on the same day and you expect me to be free. That's like crazy. Like, if I'm not free and you getting mad, that's crazy.
but that's how it was before. What if that's how you guys usually rocked?
Yeah, we get older, we get more responsibilities. If I cannot make myself available the same day, if I got plans, because now I got a new job or a new career, new lifestyle changes or whatever. If I can't make myself available the same day, that's not my fault. So even that's how you rock before, you just be like, you could just tell him though. Did you tell him? It's like nah, or just kept saying nah.
I just kept saying nah.
Oh, I don't know about that, bro. then I can see why they felt. Like, I feel some type of way too. If I was like, if there was nothing to say, if there was never a conversation where you had where it was like, I'm gonna be around less. And school's a life change or whatever. But if you never described how busy it would make you, like I went to school for communications, and like I would literally skip like a class a week, bro. Like I'm not kidding you not. So it wasn't like I just wrote a lot of papers.
Right.
So like you could do papers like it wasn't like engineer or nursing work. But if you're doing like computer science where it's gonna take you that type time period, you didn't say nothing. I could see why I could see why they feel some type of way.
Especially if it was a combination of school and another person.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing you gotta ask yourself too. So it's like, are you one of those people that gets into like we all know these type of people that get into a relationship we just never see you no more.
Right. And
like, that's how it goes. Like some people get in relationships and it's just like, damn, I forgot all about my friends. I forgot all about my family.
I'm not. I would like to think that I'm not like that, right? But it's normal for when you get into a relationship that obviously now you got to split your time among more people.
You got to split your time.
Right. And it's not like I stopped hanging out with everyone else
but this time split seems like it's 90-10 from what you're saying.
Not necessarily.
No?
It's just that it was very unlucky overlaps. Is what I would call it. On the day that they wanted to hang out, it just happened to be the day that I was already busy with somebody else.
Unlucky enough, it seems like a pattern. If it keep being unlucky, bro,
I got terrible luck, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do nothing.
I don't know, bro.
It just so happened that on the days where she would normally hit me up or that I wouldn't be with this person, like what normally happened, right, is like there were days where we would hang out or I would hang out with certain people, right? And this new person, obviously, there wasn't like a set schedule. It was very sporadic.
Okay.
But my established friends were set. There was like a schedule.
Yeah.
So now what would happen is that on the days that I had scheduled with my friends, I'd hang out with them. I'd be fine or whatever. But on the days that we didn't have scheduled, we'd often hang out, like just sporadically.
Yeah.
And on those days, then I'll most likely or sometimes be spending time with that new person.
But you were still seeing the person, like your friends.
I was still seeing my established friends.
All right, so that's.
Like you're part of that group. Like you know this.
I don't think that's an issue. But we knew this though. Did they know that though?
I mean,
would they feel like, okay, damn, this dude got a girlfriend again. I'm just not gonna see him no more.
Nah, I don't
hope.
I saw them regularly though. That's the thing. It was just less. It was regularly, but less than before.
So you still see him like once a week or like whatever the usual thing is.
Like when they called, and if they knew that Saturday nights Khelil does homework until 9:30, so I'm gonna call at 9:45 because I know he's about to be in bed. They can still call Saturday night, and I'll still pick up and have an hour-long conversation with them. Okay. Or if it's like Monday night, that's when we usually hang out. Let me see if he's busy. 8 times out of 10, I'll be free and we can hang out. But it just so happens that sometimes I can't do it. I'm with my other friend now.
the thing is, it seems like I don't know, man. It keeps happening over and over again. You just like, all right, this dude's.
That's what I'm saying. I'm toxic as fuck, bro. I never had the self awareness to see that before, but
did no one ever brought up to you? It's like, damn, I see you less now. Or was it like one of those things where someone only brought up to you when they were mad or something? Like,
no, they did. Like almost everyone did, but I told them, I told y'all, you had that joke that you're in 5th place out of everyone else in my life. I'm like, you're not in 5th place. Everyone's in 2nd place, and I'm in 1st. That's just bottom line.
Man, we could be in 5th place is alright.
No, there's no 5th place at all, bro. Everybody's in 2nd place. I'm in 1st, but
if you make everyone feel like 5th place, then
that's the thing. Everybody feels like they're behind everyone else, but they're not.
How would you go and communicate that to everyone? Did you like so?
I said that.
You never told anybody. It was like, okay, I can't chill. I'm chilling with you less because I'm seeing this person. I'm starting school, and I have a lot more personal responsibility now.
I didn't lay it out like that, but
what'd you say?
I just said you're not behind anybody else. I'm trying to spend time with everybody equally. That's what I said. I mean, I feel like they'll put that together though, because if they're feeling that way, specifically because I'm hanging out with somebody else.
Yeah, if you're saying trying to split your time, they're gonna be like the person he's spending time with is like higher up than me in the order. That's what it'll be like.
Because I'm spending less time with you now?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's normal though. Obviously, if I'm splitting my time in more ways, that's less to go around.
If you had, especially if it's one consistent person, which is the way it seems like when you brought it up.
Right.
So now it's one consistent person that has become so much more over me that I can't even like hit you up like I used to.
You couldn't hang out as much as you used to. You could still hit me up, but I couldn't.
No, we can't hang out as much as you used to because you already said
you couldn't.
You explained, so I can't hang out as much as we used to.
Right.
And now I can't even hit you up like I used to.
I mean, you can still hit me up if you want to like talk about something.
But just like the regular stuff we used to do, I can't do that no more.
Not as much. No. And you know why. Even if I don't say why, you know why. If it's been a consistent person this whole time, you know why I can't sporadically hang out with you Monday nights or Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights anymore.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair. But then what if you and this... So, if you and this person ever broke up, did you start seeing them again regularly? Like, more often or not?
I mean, yeah, freed up some time, right?
And then, all right, no, that's fair. I'm not give that. But then you get in another relationship, and the same thing happens again.
The same thing, yeah, because now my time is split in more
like
ways
now.
now.
I can't hit you up the same way, and you might be one of those, bro.
Like what?
That's
what happens.
You might be one of those,
that's what happens, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, man.
How do you build a relationship with someone if you can't spend time with them? Like, I have to spend. If it just so happens to be on the days that I used to hang out with you. I'm sorry. Especially if it's not every time. It was just sometimes. That's the thing. I know that's enough. That's enough.
Nah,
sometimes is enough.
The only time it would become an issue if it became a pattern where it's like, damn, every single time, it's like, nah. That's where it's an issue. If it's every single time, or if it's like 90% of the time, but if it is like only 40% of the time, 50% of the time, then it's like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, even like the same day thing, like, you know, as you get older, that same day stuff is just not really gonna fly no more. You can't hit somebody on the same day, expect them to be free or whatever. Like, you can try. But you can't expect them to be like, oh, I'm gonna just drop everything for you.
Right. But what if it's like 2 times in a row it happens, and then 1 time it doesn't happen, and then it happens 3 times in a row, and then 4 times in a row it doesn't happen. But then it happens.
That 4 times in a row it didn't happen. That was not the case though.
Like, I'm just giving an example. You know like, what if there was sometimes it happens in a row, and then it didn't happen in a row, but because it happened back to back to back, sometimes you feel like it's every time now. Because it's one of those, I don't know what you call it. It's not confirmation bias. Yeah, it's not. But it's like
I know you're going.
You only know. You only realize it when it happens. So it feels like it's always happening because that's when you're cognizant of it.
I don't know. I feel like you just really got. If that person, if that's the case, and you told him everything, and I think that person just gotta realize like, okay, you're just doing other stuff with your life. We're all adults now. Like, we have way less. And this is the thing. I think the time period of these relationships is important as well. Because not only, like, these are friends, like, I'm assuming from high school or college and before.
Long-time friends.
So, it's just a natural part of life as you get older. You see your friends, let's say you're at work, or you might work in a different city. You might move to a different town. You might be in college, whatever. So now you just it's just a natural part of life where you just can't see everyone as much as you used to.
Especially if you're, building a relationship, you're getting married, you're having kids.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna see people less.
Of course. But that, it's funny you mentioned the kids thing or the marriage thing. Those are two things. Like, I don't think anyone would be like, "Oh, damn, I see you less." It would be an issue.
Right.
But they might not have, like, I don't even know what the word for it is. They might not have felt those things. The other things you were doing instead of chilling with them were valid though.
But the thing is, you don't just wake up married. Like, you gotta
No,
you gotta start somewhere, and that's obviously gonna cut into your time with everybody else.
But it could be like, okay, this dude is like, he's saying he's a personal day from whatever. Like, he's just going home to chill by himself or whatever.
All right.
Instead of chilling with me, they might not find that valid.
What's wrong with that?
Especially if you bail on them the last few times. They'll be like, damn, this dude's just not chilling with me. Now he's chilling by himself instead of chilling with me. They might not find that valid. So it's like, damn, he just doesn't rock with me no more.
You're right.
So it's like, so if that's the case, then they really feel like they're in fifth place where it's like, damn, even when this dude is free, he doesn't want to chill with me.
So now what do I do now? Like, or what would someone in my situation do where you're making new friends, you're getting into relationships, and now you have less time to spend with your longtime friends? That's naturally gonna happen. But
no, yeah, if it's your longtime friends and like you express those things, I don't think it'll be an issue. I mean, like if I was like, all right, damn, I got a girl now, or damn, my new job is taking up a lot of my time. I'm working like 70 hours a week or whatever.
Or you just met new friends at your job and you guys like to go out on Friday nights to get drinks or whatever.
I mean, that's valid. I mean, I don't know, like,
you don't have to say that?
As long as you communicate, I don't think there'll be an issue. If the issue is, if I don't communicate those things, it seems like I'm ghosting them. It just seems like, or it seems like I'm one of those friends where it's like I've only taken doses now. Like we mentioned a lot in the first part. Where it's like, damn, I can only chill with you for like 40, 50 minutes. And then after that, you're just too much for me. You're too obnoxious, or you're too loud, or you just kill my vibe now.
But what if... I'm trying to save myself here, all right? So what if, you realize that you're not spending as much time with these people as before.
Yeah.
But now you're actively scheduling times to hang out with them, even though you know it's not possible to hang out as much as before. So like with y'all, like we used to like meet up 3 times a week, but now we can't. So I was like, all right, boys, every Tuesday, that's our night. Make sure you got your Tuesdays free.
Yeah.
No, I don't say I can't chill with y'all because, I hang out with my friends at work now. I don't say I can't chill with y'all because my girl's coming over now or none of that. I just say, yo, make sure Tuesday's free and that's going to be our night or whatever. And we have that set day, but it's just less than we did before.
And you don't say why.
And I don't say why. And now when you hit me up on Thursday and Friday night, because, sometimes you do that and we hang out, I'm like, I can't do that.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
In my mind, I'm like, we already got Tuesday, so I'm not ghosting you. I'm trying to see you and I'm trying to hang out with you.
Nah, but like, I'm one of those dudes where it's just like, he's just doing this to maintain the relation. Like, not even maintain, just to like, I don't even know the word for it.
Just like hang on by a thread or something?
Yeah. It's just like, you're just there now. Like, I'll just chill with you because like I've known you for so long.
That's what it seems like?
I don't know, but if you don't say anything, it'll be like, okay, this is our day. No, I think it depends on the person though. Because honestly, if I'm chilling, like, okay, when I see my boys and like, all right, we're chilling on like Wednesdays when I'm free, so I'll chill with y'all on Wednesdays. They'll just assume I'm busy on the other days. But at the same time, why couldn't you just tell me you're busy at the other day instead of making people assume?
But if I'm telling you that Tuesday's our day or Wednesday's our day, isn't it safe to assume that the other days are not our days?
That's safe to assume. But it'll be like, all right, they might be curious to what the reason is. And especially if you know someone for that long, why would you tell them the reason?
You know what? I'm going to take responsibility, all right? I'm going to stop making excuses. I've been toxic. I've been kind of fucked up. I've been specifically trying not to be.
All right.
But it ended up that way. So now what's like, if I had to give myself a type of like the type of toxic person that I was, I'd probably say I'm like the overly independent type. Like,
is that toxic though?
Like, I'm not consistent with my. Well, I am though. What type would I be? I'm consistent with my friends.
You'd be like,
or I try to be at least.
Be like a secretive toxic. That's what you'd be.
I'm a very secretive person,
Yeah,
so that's
that'll be a
that's
toxic.
not toxic.
It'll be a toxic trait if it's with your closest friends and you can't tell them that things going on in your life. So if like we're best friends or whatever, or like we're really close friends, I got something going on. Why wouldn't you be able to tell me? Like if especially if that causes me to see you less. Like say like my like somebody I know dies, or like I'm sick, or like just anything happens to me, and I see you a lot less.
Those are like identifiable events, though. That's way easier to talk about than just saying, "Yo, I got friends at work now."
I'm going through some mental problems. Oh, you got friends at work?
I got friends at work now. I
gotta
say I got friends at work now.
I got some people I'm friends with. I got friends at work now. I just started a new job. There's some people that my age. I want to see if I can build a rapport with them. So y'all might see me less. That's not an issue. How's that an issue?
You think?
If you got,
obviously that's fine.
If you got friends that got a problem with that, they shouldn't be your friends, bro. Cause that sounds like some jealous ass friends.
But if you don't say it and they have a problem with it, then that's understandable.
To a degree, like I can see where they're coming from. I'm not saying it's understandable, but I see where they're coming from. Like it's not. I'm not condoning that behavior, but I can see like okay.
And would you call that person toxic? That because they didn't say nothing?
If you keep doing it over and over again, yeah, it's toxic. If you like, especially if I've known you for so long, where I could feel like I could trust you with like family secrets or like whatever. I've known you for long enough or close enough that I can tell you anything, and then out the blue you just tell me nothing, and then you just around less, and it keeps happening over and over
what
again.
What if you know though? You're like you know why though. That's the thing, and I know you know why. You know I know you know why. So what's the like?
But do you know they know why? But the thing is that it keeps happening over and over again.
But they know why.
But
it keeps happening. But you know that we're hanging out less because I'm hanging out with my friends from work now, on those specific days, and you know that I specifically put aside these days for you, so that we can still keep our relationship. We can still see each other because I still want to see you. I just gotta see you less now. And we can't do sporadic things no more. So I want to make sure I see you by setting these days with you.
And what if I'm not free on those days no more? What if like something just happened? Like it just seems like when you do that, it just seems like you just put them in like a very limited role in your life, which is fair to do. But they might not respond.
It's not very limited. It's just more limited than it was before.
If it's like we can't do sporadic stuff no more, like ever, I'm not seeing.
Not as much.
Like, is it not as much?
Not as much. Like I said, it was 8 times out of 10. When they would hit me up, or you guys would hit me up, they were like, how many times like, yo, better come through tonight? I can't.
Yeah, but we just assume because you're whatever situation you're in.
Right. And I'm sure there were times where we planned things and I was able to come, and there were times that we planned things that I was not able to come. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's all the time. Like, yeah, sure, it happens. Maybe it happens often. But it's not all that. I do it when I can.
It's not all the time. But at the same time, we don't even bother to hit you up on weekends no more, though. Fair to say.
You know why, though?
Yeah, we know why. But it's like, damn, I can't even justify that. Actually, I won't call you. Man, I don't know if I can call you toxic. I don't know if I can actually.
I think I am. I think I have been. This is what's today? The 27th. It's when I turn my life around, man. I'm a new man after this episode, man.
The only thing I can say is that you can be more communicative about it. But I don't know if I can call you toxic off that though. I think when
I can't even like put like a type of like there's types of toxic people, but I can't pinpoint like what type that would be.
The only one I can think of is like a secretive person that doesn't let you know what's like going on. Like say you ask somebody what's wrong, and they're like nothing. And then you ask them like, but you can clearly tell
they're
something
just a
wrong.
liar. It's not toxic.
It's not toxic.
They're just a liar.
If there's clearly something wrong, it's been long over. Like not like you could be upset one day, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like your girl gets mad at you. What's wrong? Nothing. But there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's over like a period of time where you can tell there's something wrong with them, and the person clearly has an issue with you and doesn't say anything about it, I'm calling that toxic. I'm calling that toxic, bro.
Like over a couple days, maybe, and they're treating you different, and you want to know why, but they're just not telling you why. They're saying everything's fine, but they're different to you.
I'm gonna say 2 weeks, bro. I'm gonna say 2 weeks. If it's after 2 weeks and you've been pressing about them, I'm like, yo, what's good? And they're still acting like they treat you differently. There's something bothering her,
right?
Or him, whatever. And they still like nothing's wrong, but you like even when they say nothing's wrong, they're agitated. Like you could clearly like that's toxic, bro. That's childish.
What if they're mad about is something valid, and the reason that they're not really talking to you about it is because they feel like they just can't talk to you no more. Like you changed up on them, so now they're changing up on you.
No.
Like, that's not understandable.
No, it's not understandable. If something's wrong, say what's on your mind. Even if you feel like I changed up, say you think I changed up. You can't just you can't expect me to know, especially after I asked you several times. I'm like, yo, what's good? You said nothing.
Even when it's something that I should know.
It doesn't matter.
Like when you're in a relationship, like
oh yeah,
like when you get into a fight with a girl, oftentimes she doesn't tell you what's wrong because she believes that you should already know what's wrong. The fact that you're asking is a problem itself.
It could be a problem, but at least I'm reaching out to you. That's the whole like. Yeah, I should know whatever. Oh, I left the freaking toilet seat up or like whatever we can be fighting about, right? But the fact that I keep asking you what's wrong, clearly lets me know that I don't know what's wrong.
But you should know.
I should know.
You've been fucked up. You should know.
I don't know. Like,
and the fact that you don't know means that you're toxic because you're doing all these messed up things and you don't even realize.
How am I toxic if I'm reaching out to you and I'm like, yo, what is wrong?
If you can treat your friends this way and you think it's okay.
I am not self-aware enough to realize I treat myself.
You think it's okay.
But I'm self-aware enough to reach out to you and be like, what is going on? That's not toxic. I'm not. Nah, that's not flying. That's not flying. Nope, that's not flying. Bro.
So you don't think I was toxic?
Not in that circumstance. Absolutely not flying.
But it wasn't even just with a specific person. It was people. People felt that way.
It doesn't matter if people felt that way. If I'm reaching out to you and I'm like, yo, what is wrong? What can I do to change the way you feel? And you could. And this wasn't. I didn't reach out just once or twice. This was multiple times. And they're like nothing, or they're like, oh, he just does this all the time, so I'm not gonna bother this time. Which is that mindset is more understandable if it keeps happening over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just one or two times and you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong? And they say nothing. How's that your fault? How's that your fault?
I guess it's not. So what kind of toxic? What type of toxic person would that kind of person be?
What type of toxic would they be? I call them petty. I call them petty. If they keep not telling you what's going on out of like, oh, you should know, that's petty, bro.
Well, I mean, not necessarily though, because some people just really can't communicate, even if they want to.
No, but you said in your situation it was, oh, you should know.
So it's like I don't know if that's what she was thinking or he was thinking or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what they were thinking. Right, but if it was that, then that's petty. But sometimes, I mean, it could have very well been like, I just feel like I can't talk to you no more.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure out of my circle of friends, multiple people might have felt that way at some point.
Did they not tell you that though? Like if you don't tell me that, how am I supposed to know that difference?
I mean, they didn't really have to.
No, they would. If it's like, damn,
like if they,
I feel like it's one thing to like chill with somebody less, but if you feel that you can't talk to them about certain things, that means the connection is not as strong as it was before.
Right, and so you probably can't even tell them that you feel this is changing because it's like they're drifting further and further away. So should you even reach out if they're pulling back so much?
Especially if you're still hanging out with them, yeah. What you mean? Like, what's the point of us chilling? Like, if you feel like. What are you chilling for? Like, what, we just chilling just cause?
See, that's the thing I was saying earlier, though. But you felt like me making those days to chill was like just trying to keep the relationship on by a thread. Maybe that's how they felt too.
No, yeah, that's valid. But still, at the same time, but if at that same time, if you had a problem with it, you should have said something though. And
I agree with that.
You can communicate. It's like, okay, I can't see you as much as I used to see you, but we're still like as close as hell. Like we're still the same. We're just gonna chill us.
And so whether or not they feel like it was cause, you should know this, or they felt like I just can't talk to you, that's still the toxic trait of just bad communication in important relationships.
Is bad communication toxic though?
Of course.
Is it?
Of course, you can definitely end a relationship over bad communication or a friendship over bad communication.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'll call that toxic.
That's fair.
So, like, when I think of toxic, I think of something that is like, it's something small when it's by itself, but over
the only reason
time, it's like on a consistent basis, it just builds up and it just.
The only reason I say that is because it could be like, there could be times where maybe you're just not comfortable saying something. Like maybe it's like an insecurity or something like that, and then you don't tell you what that insecurity is. So that's why that's why I kind of give it like.
So
I don't like say you feel some type of way, and it's not even because of the other person, but it's just like an insecurity that you're personally dealing with,
right?
and the other person kind of makes like they might make it worse, they might not make it worse, but it's just like damn, you don't even have that like confidence to talk to that person. So that's why I'm a little hesitant to call.
If it was like they had abandonment issues, and now they feel abandoned again, so they just go into themselves and they don't really talk about it at all because it's just so deep rooted. That's deep. I don't know. It's not, I wouldn't call that toxic. Yeah, I just feel bad at that point.
I feel harsh calling that toxic.
But then there's no way out of that situation because that person doesn't know what they're doing wrong. You can't tell them what's going on.
It becomes a toxic situation. It definitely does because
So it's a toxic situation without toxic people. That's trash.
Happens though, man.
I guess it happens.
There's times where it's like through no fault of their own. Like somebody was like. I'm gonna use this like sexually abused or just something like tragic happened to him or something like really, really personal, left like really deep scars. Where it's like even though they try to work on it, it's they can't work on it. It's like or they work on it, but at the same time, it's like nothing you're doing is your fault, but it's like a trigger for it.
Oh, trigger.
So
what if it's like an anger management issue, and specific things set them off. Like off
anger management. Oh man, I don't know, man.
Because that's one type of toxic person. It's the overly angry person.
I'm calling that straight out toxic. If you're just overly angry, I'm calling that straight out toxic. Even if
what if it's like a childhood thing that sets you off, and once someone steps in it, that's it. You can't even stop yourself. Your mind is just you just back in your 12-year-old body, looking at this bad situation, and you just lash out.
You might get cut off, bro.
But in that situation, it's not their fault, though.
Nah, it might not be their fault. So they don't know that, like, but if it's like a thing like if they're angry at you, and if like something really small, like they're snapping at you, just gonna think that person's abusive, though.
Yeah, but that small thing could be a trigger.
It could be a trigger, but it doesn't justify it. It doesn't like it could be a trigger, but it doesn't give them a reason to disrespect you or to like to just snap at you like that.
I mean, they don't mean to. That's the thing. Like, just like with the abandonment issue type thing, like, they don't mean to just go into themselves and, curl up into a fetal position whenever they feel abandoned because it reminds them of when, a friend or a family member left them. Like, that's not a choice. And when they snap, like, anger is such a reactive and, like, instant emotion. Like, it's hard to stop rage.
No, it is. It is, but I don't know. I'm giving the abandonment more leeway than anger.
Than anger?
Yeah, I'm giving them more leeway. I don't know, man. Dude just snapping at me. I'm like, yeah, you got it, I'm sorry.
It was like every time, what's an example?
Like, my shorty just like, damn, you said that word, like, I don't know, like you were singing a rap song or something, and you said, like, hose or something, and she just, like, punched you. Like, nah, it's not flying, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's just not flying.
What if there's a reason for it, man?
Yeah, like,
she's amazing in every other way.
She is.
But she happens to punch you whenever you say ho.
She is, and, like, I remember, like, some dude in high school, or, like, in high school she was bullied. Other girls called her hoes or whatever. And then you just said, you weren't calling her that, but you were saying, like, a ludicrous song. I got hope. Yeah, you were singing that, right? And then she just punched you. He's like, oh, you should know, like, that. Nah, it's not flying.
Which is like, I'm so sorry, but I just can't help it. I'm working on it. I love you, and if you love me, you help me with it.
Oh man, I don't know.
You know what? That's gaslighting, right?
I don't know.
That's another type of toxic behavior. It's like when you emotionally manipulate them into thinking the way that you want them to think. Right? So it's like if she's mad about, or if he's mad about something, and you just go, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. I can't deal with this tonight. But you're wrong.
Oh.
So now you're making them feel like they're forcing it.
That's hella
but
toxic.
you're wrong. That's
gas.
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Nah. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. But in that situation, man, with the anger thing, I'm not giving that too much leeway. Even if you have triggers, it's like, man, maybe I'm just trash for that. Maybe I'm just not giving anger the value that it deserves. But
I feel like, I mean, maybe that's just like that's a mental health thing, right? It's like you can't really relate to how severe it is because it's not very visible until.
No, it probably is. I remember I used to, like, as a when I was younger too, I used to think like depression wasn't real.
Oh yeah, me too.
I used to just think like it's just people feeling sorry for themselves all day.
I used to feel like if you're depressed, just do shit that makes you happy.
Yeah. You know, I used to just think people were just like, damn,
That's
like, why?
horrible.
Why? Oh no, that's.
I feel bad saying it, but that's how I felt. That's how I thought.
No, 100%. That's pretty. It's pretty trash.
So I feel like the anger thing might be a type where
it might
just
it might
can't
just
understand
it might just be me not being aware of certain things. You know, like as like over time, like more news has come out about like the chemical imbalance and all the
Right.
social issues that might cause it, and all these type of things that might make you clinically depressed. And maybe that's what needs to happen for me with anger, but I don't know, man. Some dude just started snapping at me. I'm not gonna be like, damn, oh, you're
Let me
depressed.
find out
you're
what's wrong with
yeah,
you. Tell me
like
what
I'm
your
not,
child's like.
I'm not gonna do that. My Sody started doing that. I'm like, I'm not doing that with you.
How's your relationship with your dad?
Yeah,
Right?
it's not flying.
So the anger type toxic person, that's harder to relate to.
Yeah,
The abandonment type toxic person, that's easier to relate to.
I can understand it because, especially someone that's been like cut off like abruptly after like a long term like relationship with somebody. Like that is like, oh damn, like you'll definitely have triggers for that. Where it's like, damn,
Right.
this person hasn't talked to me in like a few days. Like, oh damn, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
I feel like a lot of people deal with that actually. That could be more common than I realized thinking about it.
It's definitely more common. It probably is more common than you think about. But that's just something like, and a certain sense when that happens to you, you just gotta give yourself that closure. Like you're not gonna get it from anywhere else.
That's hard though.
It's very
And
hard.
Definitely gonna need some support for that.
Amen.
Which is why back in the Ghost Sims was like, yo, it's so easy to become a fuckboy or fuck or
It's very
what is
toxic to cut people off, man.
the
Abruptly, the ghost people.
city boys and the hot girls. It's very easy to become one.
The Hot Boys song been a good one for
Is
you.
it Hot Boys now?
Yeah,
I thought it was City Boys.
Nah, Hot Boy, bro.
What?
Yeah, City Boys was too so it was too effeminate compared to the Hot Boy song, man.
It's very
Sounds
easy to
good.
become one of those.
Nah, but
So abandonment, easy to relate to. What about like the belittlement type toxic person? Like the person who always makes you feel like you're less than, or like you're never good enough.
oh, get the hell out of my face. There's no excuse for that either. You're just an asshole. There's not like no, like that's like a bully type thing. Maybe there's an excuse for that, but still, nah, you can't be doing that to people.
Yeah.
Because one thing is like, especially if there's self-awareness to know that what you're doing is wrong, or like this is like another reason why I don't try to like hate other groups or like belittle other groups. Like as a black dude, you know what's going on. You know how it feels to be like prejudiced against, discriminated against, whatever. So that's why I never try to share that same energy to anyone else, like freaking gay people, like whatever it is. I know how it feels myself.
If only all black people thought like you. So that's another episode.
But I know how that feels myself. And then I think with the people that do that, I think most of them have that self-awareness. I might be completely wrong. But
No, I feel like they
if
do.
If you're like bullying somebody, you're like, yo, you know what you're doing is effed up. Like it doesn't matter. Like, oh yeah, my dad hits me at home or whatever. But it's like, damn, I know how that feels. I know how that makes me feel. And now I'm gonna do that to somebody else at school and make them feel that, or like wherever you're doing it at. So I was like, nah, I'm not giving that no leeway.
And that kind of goes into the person who doesn't want to take what's wrong, right? Because it's like, you're doing this to me, so now I want to make you feel how I felt.
Yeah.
Right?
So
it's not belittling, but it's along the
like,
same lines of thought.
You can say, you can say
But then with the belittlement thing, it's like, it could be like a messed up, twisted act of love, kind of. Right? Like if someone has you and they feel really, really lucky to have you, and they know that you're great and you're amazing, and if you reach your full potential, you're going to leave them behind, they might try to keep you on their level. As like a twisted act of love.
Oh.
Right, listen, just hear me out. I'm not saying I do this,
Hey.
but I'm thinking about it like, I'm trying to open my horizons a little bit, right? So it was like, you got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend, and they're an amazing singer, or they're an amazing dresser, or whatever.
And you hold them back.
And you hold them back so that you can keep them in your life.
You're garbage.
Because
you're
they're the only good thing about you, and you cannot lose them.
You're absolute garbage. Nah. Stop it, bro. You're garbage, bro.
Or it's like, maybe it's just like to keep them safe, like they're doing like boxing or whatever, like you're terrible, or they're doing UFC.
That wouldn't be belittling.
They're doing you like, you can't fight, bro. Stop. You got beat up last week.
That's not your
Stop
decision
doing that.
to make, though.
You're just trying to keep them safe, though.
You
it's
are
an act of love.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you just want to see
know
them not hurt.
You do, but you know it will make them happy at the end of the day.
But as long as they're safe, you feel like as long as they're safe and healthy, they're gonna end up being happy.
All right.
It's a twisted act of love, but it's an act of love nonetheless.
With the UFC thing, I'll give you some. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit, but not with anything else, bro. If you're anybody, you're toxic as hell if you don't want to see your friends. I don't know why you have friends. If you don't want to see your friends get on, Like your friends getting on should be completely independent of what you're doing. Completely independent. I know like your friend like usually your friends groups is like the same level as you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if your friend makes it big and you're like, damn, or like that dude, you was never cool with that dude. Like,
I mean, it could be. Maybe he switched up though.
Nah.
It happens
But
all the time.
You're telling your boy or your homegirl or whatever.
You can't
like,
sing.
Yeah,
you can't fight.
Knowing damn well they can.
Right.
Nah, you toxic as hell, B. Get out. Get out.
It is toxic.
You be
It
on
is
toxic. You
toxic.
just a trash can.
But I'm trying to make a case for the people who do things
nah,
like that.
yeah, trash can, bro.
Damn, bro. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Nah, absolute trash can, bro. I'll call you Oscar from now.
You are trash, and if you're doing that, stop doing that.
Oh, man.
But I see where you're coming from, kinda. If that's the reason you're doing it.
Nah, bro, straight garbage.
But for real, if you're doing that, stop doing that.
Basura.
Garbage.
Nah, man.
What else? It's like the
There's a lot of I think, but even going past describing all these types of toxic people, I think, and Jesse alluded that to on the last part, like it's a self-awareness thing where it's really hard to have that.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's like because there's ways that you're personally toxic in your own life. You know, like okay, I'm going to bed late knowing I got work tomorrow, so I'm gonna be late for work.
Oh, like you're toxic towards yourself?
Yeah, like and like, but you might not have that like self-awareness or like you know what you're doing is wrong, but you can't even correct it now. So it's like, damn, like I should go to bed earlier. Oh, damn, I should not be eating this type of food every single day, or like I should not be treating people this certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like
but you just can't help it.
You can't help yourself now.
Well, what do you do in that situation then?
I got no idea, bro.
I mean, I feel like if you're aware, if you're even thinking that you shouldn't be doing this, then that's a good step
that's
already.
A good step. But what if you're not aware of that in the first place, and no one corrects you on that either?
Like you ain't got no friends.
No, you got friends, but no one calls you on it. You don't think we had like any friends like that?
Like when they're doing messed up things,
or just like anybody you know, and they're like doing messed up things, but it's like no one ever calls them out on it, because maybe they're funny, you know, but sometimes they take it too far, and no one calls them out on it.
Right.
I feel like I've known people like that.
I've definitely known people.
Yeah,
like
where it's
that.
like they're usually funny, but like they're funny in the way like they kind of like belittle other people, or like they're funny in the way like they crack jokes, but then they just go way too far, and no one ever says anything about it.
Like I saw the video the other day, and it was this kid in high school, and he was just like messing with the teacher, right? He was trying to be funny, just dancing, just like, can you take a seat, Mr. Whoever it was, and he was just dancing in front of the teacher, getting up, standing up on the desks, and he went to the teacher's desk and started going through his papers, and then he started dancing on the teacher's desk, and he fucking flipped the desk and walked out the classroom dancing all the way, thinking he's funny, but he's not, and no one's really saying anything to him, and like some kids are in the corner like kind of like laughing about it, but it's like you're not gonna get far in life doing that stuff.
How do you approach toxic people? And that's another thing. Like, how do you approach that person if they don't, especially if you're not that cool with them though?
Even if I wasn't cool with this dude, I'd be like, yo.
But
like,
you would talk to that. Like, why would you talk to that?
I would speak up in that situation. Like, if I was in that classroom, I would like to think that I would speak up in that situation.
I don't know, man.
Because I feel like it's important to catch them.
Bro, we went to
while they're in
we went to BPS, bro. I know you remember Aaron. How many people spoke up to that dude, bro?
Aaron?
Yeah. Remember, dude used to always bully. I ain't want to use names. He always used to bully the other dude, like the nerdy dude
with the rolly backpack.
Yeah, bro.
I know that kid.
That was
but I don't know
the
Aaron.
only case of bullying I've ever seen in my life. That was
I don't know.
bad.
I don't
Aaron
know.
was like the big Spanish dude, bro.
I don't know any Aarons, bro. I know one, but he didn't go to school with me.
If you saw him, you see him. I mean, if you saw him, you recognize him. But nobody ever.
No one spoke up.
And dude, he had plenty of friends. But
Like
it's
friends or like
friends, like people that he would chill with. You see with him regularly.
I mean, those could still not be your real friends, though.
Nonetheless, no one said anything.
That's trash.
It's not cool.
And I feel like in that situation, you have to say it while they're engaging in that behavior. They have to catch themselves doing it. I feel like for them to trigger that, because if they're just chilling, like, yo, what you did yesterday wasn't cool, they're not really in that. Like, I don't feel like that's gonna be as effective.
Oh, so if you just stop them, like
I feel like if you have to stop them while they're engaging in that behavior.
This might not rock with you no more.
You tried though.
But that's your friend though. Would you be willing to lose a friend over that?
I will be willing to help my friend over that. If they end the friendship, that's their decision. But I'm not trying to end the friendship.
You're not, but it's like, damn, you just disrespect me in front of everybody. Like, you embarrass me. That, like, I can see where that person's coming from. Where it's like, damn, why would you do that? Why couldn't you just tell me that afterwards? You know, it's like that situation. Like, oh, you ever see like your girl did something wrong in public, but you just gotta grab her back and explain to her like what she did wrong afterwards. It's like that type of thing, nah.
When it's things like that, yeah, but if it's like bullying,
I don't know, man.
Or like dancing on the teacher's desk.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's valid. But like the it just goes back to the point where it's like, if that person doesn't know they're toxic, they don't have the self awareness. Who's really gonna step up for them if their friends aren't willing to do that though?
Nobody, and they're just gonna keep going down that dark path.
But they've been successful doing that though, so it's just like, why wouldn't they in the first place?
What do you mean they've been successful doing
Like they've been gone through life. They've met friends. They've met girls. They've done.
But they're
they've
just
got
leaving like a
jobs.
trail of destruction in their
Yeah,
path,
yeah.
and they just don't know.
They don't know.
I feel like you'd have to, and you don't know.
You don't know.
How do you not know? These people have to speak up and tell you, right?
No one tells you.
But the people you heard have to have told you.
How often do
Like, you feel like you're a womanizer, but you don't really think so until like all these women come like, yo, you broke my heart. You cheated on me. You've been doing this. You've been doing that. And you're gonna, if enough people do that, you're eventually gonna come to the realization, like I did.
There's two things to this too. One is maybe not enough people told you. Maybe only like one or two people. Oh, they're just salty. Like, what do they know? They're salty. Like I'm here. Like, I'm at this level. They're there. They're just trying to knock me down. They're trying to make me feel bad. That's one.
So now they're toxic because they're trying to belittle you.
I say they were more hurt. But then the other situation is, it's like, I got to this level by doing this. Why would I change any of my behavior? Especially if no one's told me anything's wrong. Like, why would I, like, if I get to, like, I don't want to get political. Right?
Yeah, no, you ain't got to.
But I'll use this example. If I'm Trump, right, and I can disrespect whoever the hell I want, I can call Rosie a Donald pig, do this, and I get to the present, like the highest thing, why would I change? Like, I don't care who's telling me to change. Why would I change if I'm the damn president? Like, you guys kept telling me to change this whole time, and then people were telling me to change, but they didn't tell me to change until after we already got to billionaire status and all this type of stuff. So why would I change now? Because you told me to when I'm at this level. It's just like you're hating on me. Why are you hating for? I've been doing this the whole time. You know who I am. I was on TV telling people you're fired. Like, you know who I am. So now you're trying to say, oh, this other stuff about me. Oh, where was this when I was here? You weren't doing that when I was at this level, but now I'm at this high level. And you're trying to say, oh, damn, you can't do this no more. Or that's toxic. Or you're a bad person. So that's where it's like, if you have that mentality of I got to this level, it's like, you're just hating on me now. You didn't say nothing before, but now that I try to get higher goals,
that person's beyond saving, man. There's no helping people.
But
like
that's
that.
your fault then, because you should have said something way before. You wait for me to get to the top level, and you just a hater. That's hater activity. Like, so you understand what I'm saying? So if I'm one of those people that's just, oh, I'm leaving a trail of destruction behind, but even if I don't know it, no, even if I do know it,
but you don't benefiting
say you don't say nothing until I'm up here. You're a hater. You're not trying to help me. You're just a hater.
You know, this sounds a lot like those cases where women come out after being sexually assaulted after a while.
You know,
it sounds like it. No, I'm not saying. I know what you're saying isn't that he's justified in saying that. It's just like another example of not knowing when you're toxic.
That's gonna be a whole different episode.
That's a different topic.
It's like, it's why getting them initially to step up is so important, and it could be so hard, especially after having that type of damage. But at that point, it like that's why there is doubt, and that's why there is like why people do doubt it though. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Right.
But it's like, if I wait for you to be like, okay, damn, now you're trying to get to this position. Oh, you're a bad person. I can know you're a bad person. You shouldn't be in this position of power because you might manipulate that power. You might abuse that power. But it's like, a lot of people are not going to believe you because you waited this long. Yeah. So it's like, it's...
And now that person who did it probably won't change because they got away with it for so long.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They got this big.
Exactly. So it's like, damn, I can do this type of stuff, and who's going to stop me?
And so if that happened, if that's the case for somebody and they've been toxic for so long and it's been so successful for them, that's an exception. But at that point,
I wouldn't even call it an exception. I'll just say
that doesn't happen that often. You think so?
No, I mean, maybe not in the sexual assault type thing. No, not that. I'm just talking about I'm talking about
with the
like people that are,
like people,
or even like people to a lesser degree than Trump, where they're just like, you know how like businesses usually characterize in movies, dog eat dog world. You gotta be fucked up to people, all this type of stuff.
True.
Look at like Steve Jobs or whatever. Like, oh, you find out he's a huge asshole.
True.
Look where he gets up. Look where he gets up doing. That's like the mantra. That's how people like Hollywood portrays these business people are. Where it's like, oh damn, it's just dog eat dog world. If I'm like the alpha dog, if I'm rude to people, if I'm like really aggressive,
They encourage that, right?
yeah,
'Cause that's how you
I'll
become
be the
successful.
winner, and all the people under me will be haters. So it's like that's where that type of thing comes from. So I don't know how you correct that behavior, especially if it's portrayed in a
That's
positive
a culture
light.
thing, though.
It is a culture thing.
You
But
gotta-
so that's another thing. So it's like
That's how you gotta change. You gotta change
there's
on a cultural level.
there's two main things here. One is the lack of self awareness to know if you're toxic or have toxic behaviors, and then two is even if you do have the self awareness to be like, okay, maybe I'm being messed up to people. It's like, oh, it's led me to be so successful, and no one has said anything to me. So maybe I'm not that bad as I might have initially thought I was.
Right.
Or people waited this long, now they're just haters. I've known you for how long? Oh, now you want to call me on this after I've known you for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? So that's the issue there.
So at that point, you wouldn't even like.
Nah,
There's
why
nothing
would I change? If I'm
But I'm trying to think of it from like, not that person who's been toxic, but someone who's trying to help them, or not even help them, but try to help the people around that toxic person by correcting or trying to correct that toxic behavior. You can't even do that at that point.
there's specific circumstances where you can do it. One, you can never do it publicly. Like you can never like do it in front of somebody. Cause that'll just be like, yo, wow, you felt this way about me this whole time. Like I've been rocking with you. Like if I was bullying somebody, for example, and you like, oh, damn,
But
you should stop doing this. Nah.
Even in private though.
If you're in private, that'll be at least be more understandable. Where it's like, damn.
And if it's coming from a friend.
Yeah, if it's coming
Not
from a
stranger.
Not from a stranger. So if it's like I've known you for 40 years, and it's like, damn, a couple people, but then the dude will question your motives that you're talking to, because not only calling them out is gonna make them naturally defensive. You know, you call somebody on anything, they're gonna be naturally defensive. But two, it's like, damn, you felt this way for how long, and now you're just saying it to me, or how many people have told you this and they felt comfortable telling you this, and not only have they told you this, you haven't told me when they told you this either. So there's so many issues that come with trying to correct a toxic person's behavior, where it's like you have to stop it once you recognize it, and you have to stop. You can't do it in public.
In a public place.
Yeah. Maybe intervention style usually wouldn't be the best way. I don't think, because it's like, damn, you just been kind of talking about me like together, like behind my back type thing.
So you can't
So
do it in public, and you can't wait to do it.
No, it has to be like, it has to be within a good recent time frame of like, damn, you're doing these messed up things to people. You gotta change this, or like I don't even know. Like
it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I feel like that's a good set of rules, I guess. But that goes for everybody, not just the people who got big and powerful.
No, yeah, it does go for everybody.
That goes for everybody.
The sooner you do it, the better.
Right.
You know, I remember my somebody I know was like, oh damn, I got overweight, right? And he got really overweight. He got like 300, 400 pounds. And he's like, none of you guys have called me out on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can I call you like true friends?
Damn.
Even though it's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you not call me out on this?
Yeah. No, I completely understand.
Now I'm like, okay. It's like, it's not a toxic behavior, but it's just like, it just shows the lack of, like, there's reasons why you wouldn't do it in the first place. Like, oh damn, I want to say, oh damn, you're getting big, da da.
Right.
But it's like, damn, you are getting big. Like, it's one of those things. Like, you really, if I was your friend, you really felt you could talk to me. You really felt that you rocked with me.
You would have told me.
Yeah, you would have told me.
Soon.
Yeah, exactly. So when it got to this level, now I got to work extra hard to get back to a reasonable level.
Maybe it was like your friends thought, you're getting overweight, but maybe it's going to stop. You're going to realize yourself and turn it around. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
It comes to a certain point where it's like, damn, this has been, it's been going on for like if I'm 300, 400 pounds and nobody says anything to me, it's like, damn, I mean, I know.
They should have said something on like 215 or something like that.
It's like, yeah, it's like, damn, I know it's a sensitive thing, but if you really care for me, you would have said something. No, that might make you toxic.
You're right.
But on that note, man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different types. Like
a bunch of different types. But if you know it's a toxic person, that's not gonna be my 2 cents. You gotta calm out that behavior immediately.
And in private.
That's my 2 cents, man.
All right, what do y'all think, man? Yes, how would you deal with a toxic person in your life? How would you try to help them instead of cutting them off? Right? How would you try to like course correct, change their lives a little bit?
Yeah. We'll try to bring Jesse back. We'll bring him back for y'all.
We're trying to help Jesse. Let us know what you think. Comment down below.
Yep. Like and subscribe. See y'all next week.
See you next time.